My dear students, this is Omkar here. I welcome you to the digital learning platform by Shri Guru Sudindra College. Kindly note one important thing that all the explanations in this video are made as simple and easy as possible to conserve your data of the day and reserve your time for other videos and also for preserving the videos for regular access. This is second video on corporate accounting subject and this video is concerned to your next module after liquidation. We are moving to the module company final accounts, and in this module first you have to learn preparation of final accounts, that is preparation of trading and profit and loss account and balance sheet in vertical format. So in this video all the vertical format of trading account, P&L account and balance sheet are explained in a simple manner. You just go through the format and note down the format and record the format in your notebook in a systematic manner. You just write it and make it perfect. In the next class, let us go with the practical problem and solution on the company final account chapter. And this particular problem or this particular chapter will be with the 10 marks in your SEM exams. 10 marks problem will be given. So it is a very important and easy chapter. So make this formats perfect. Good day everyone. So this one page vertical format of trading and P&L account is in front of us now. So let us study this vertical format of trading and P&L account. So this one page includes the complete trading and P&L account in a vertical format. And let me tell you one thing before starting this particular vertical format. So this trading and P&L account is as same as your horizontal trading and P&L account that you might have studied during your PUCs or in any financial accounting subjects. So the same thing will follow here, but the manner of writing is different. That is all. So horizontally you were preparing the trading and P&L account, but here vertically you have to prepare the trading and P&L account. So let us see this one page trading and P&L account that is written vertically. This format you have to follow and you have to note down this format in your notebook and you have to make this format perfect. Okay, so let us see the same things which you were writing during your horizontal format. The same thing will follow here. First heading of the format vertical, then particulars, amount to amount, inward column and outward column you have to take. Then first sales during the year you have to take. So that will be given in the problem. So total amount of sales you have to take in outer column. Then you have to consider these particular major expenses. Generally factory expenses you have to consider. First one in the horizontal, in the left hand side, debit side, you were writing these expenses, but now you have to deduct it. That is all. So out of the sales you have to less deduct cost of sales, cost of goods sold or cost of sales will be given. So that you have to consider. Then opening stock you have to take here. Then purchases are to be taken. Carriage inward is to be taken. These are factory expenses, direct expenses. Okay, so you have to total this and take it into outer column. Then from the sales amount you have to deduct this particular total amount. Then you have to deduct closing stock also. Okay, now it is format, you just get it down as it is, and during the solution of the problem we will get to know how to do in a systematic manner. Here the format is there, you just write the X mark and write it. Okay, now closing stock is also should be deducted. Then after deducting these direct expenses and closing stock, then you will get gross profit or loss. So sales amount first you have to write, then you have to deduct all the direct expenses and closing stock. Okay, then you will get one amount. Now let us move on to next particular thing here. Yes, then after getting this particular gross profit or loss, the amount you will get it after deducting the above things, then you have to deduct indirect expenses. Indirect expenses you were writing at the left hand side of your horizontal P&L account, right? So this is up to trading account. Now gross profit you get as a result of trading account. Now we are moving ahead with P&L account. In the P&L account, first you have to deduct from this gross profit the indirect expenses. These indirect expenses are also called as office expenses. So are also you can call it as operating expenses. Salaries will be there. These are the some more examples written here. Discount, audit fees, traveling expenses, such things will be there. All the office related expenses you have to write it. So only major things are taken here in this format for a format writing purpose. All the amount, all the different items are not taken. Okay, then after deducting all the operating expenses, you have to deduct depreciation amount. So depreciation will be on building, will be on machinery, will be on any other assets. So that is to be considered, and you have to take the depreciation amount and you have to deduct it. Then you will get one amount. Now to that amount you have to add the non-operating income. These incomes, income side in at the right hand side of the horizontal P&L account, you are going to write the same thing. You have to write here as a adding commission received, rent received, or any discount received, or any interest received, or any received amount incomes. You have to add and take it into outer column. Then you will get one particular amount. After adding this, you will get one amount called as net profit before appropriation. Now you have to appropriate the remaining balance. Appropriation related things. You might have prepared a profit and loss appropriation account. How the net profits are used, that is to be that will be considered in P&L appropriation account. So same way you have to appropriate here. So provision for tax you have to deduct, and you have to take that particular thing here. Then after deducting, then balance or profit of last year's profit, if any, it will be mentioned in the question, that you have to add and take it into next column. Then you have to deduct any dividends if given. So interim dividend is here, or a final dividend will be there. Interim in the sense half yearly dividend, final in the sense annual dividend. If it is given, then you have to deduct it. Then one remaining balance you are going to take. Then if any amounts which are transferred to any reserves, general reserve, capital reserve, dividend equalization reserve, or any type of reserves will be there. If any amounts are transferred to reserve, that you have to take here, and you have to deduct that here. Okay, so after deduction of these particular dividend related and reserve transfer related items, you will get one particular amount. So that is the surplus amount. That surplus amount you have to take to the balance sheet. So this is complete trading and P&L account in one format, okay, in one page. So the complete trading and P&L account vertical format is here in one page. So first you have to note down this in a fair book, and after this, now let us study uh, further things of it. After preparation of trading and P&L account, you are going to prepare the balance sheet. So the balance sheet format also I have considered or written in one particular page here. So let us go in deep. So the balance sheet, generally in the horizontal manner, you were going to write the balance sheet format in the left and right hand side format, isn't it? Liabilities and assets, liabilities amount, assets amount, in that manner horizontally you were used to write. But now the vertical format of balance sheet you have to study here. So you have to write the balance sheet in a vertical manner, that's all. So this is also in one page. Okay, in this one page you have to note down first as a format. So here another main thing you should note is note numbers are used here. Each head of the balance sheet will be given with some notes like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. These notes are to be remembered, and you have to note down this format, and you should make this format perfect, and you should by heart these major note heads, because in the examination the manner of writing by considering the notes are valued here. How you have fixed the notes, that is important. You cannot interchange these notes. These are the notes, and in front of those heads only you have to write these particular numbers. It should not be jumbled, it should not be mixed. Okay, so note this important thing. So let us go with this particular vertical format of balance sheet. So first, balance sheet as on you have to take, and the format should be like this: particulars, note number, amount, and amount. Okay, so this manner you have to proceed. First you have to take sources of funds. So here sources of funds means it is liability. So liability side you were writing in the horizontal balance sheet with the heading that liabilities, but here sources of fund, the heading is used. In the sources of fund, whatever the things you are going to write in the liability side of the horizontal balance sheet, the same will follow here. First, shareholders funds are to be written. Then in the shareholder funds, first A, capital. So capital has the note 1, note it. The you have to by heart these all notes, and which item is concerned to which note you should know. It should not be mixed. Then first capital is to be considered. Then you have to take your reserves and surplus, that is item B, and note number 2, note it. Then main heading, loans and advances. In loans and advances, A and B are there, that is secured loan, that is note number 3, note it. Then unsecured loans, note number 4, note it. So this is your liability side. 1 2 3 4 4 items are there in the liability side, and that is called as sources of funds. Now you are going total is to be written here, 1 2 3 4, the total you have to take it here in the outer column. Then asset side you have to move. So here the assets are generally called as application of funds, how the funds are applied, where it is used, so that you have to see. Now first, fixed assets are to be written, correct? So here fixed assets, and this fixed assets is having the note number 5. And here if any depreciations are there from the gross value, you have to deduct. In the fixed assets only you have to make some methodology calculation of depreciation, and you have to deduct the depreciation out of that. So this particular portion in deep let us study in the practical problem during the solution itself. So gross block in the sense main amounts, building, machinery, all such amounts of the fixed assets, less depreciation. Out of the total amount you have to deduct the depreciation, and net amount will be there that you have to consider at the outer column. So such things will be there that you have to take. Anything concerned to fixed assets you have to take. If any work in progress related items also will be considered here, that is also should be taken into consideration. During the solution of the practical problems we will get to know how to treat all those things. So let us not bother now. So just write the things now. Then after this note 5, then you have to go to note 6, that is concerned to investment. So this is 1, this is 2 here, investment 2, that is note number 6. Then next heading 3, current assets are to be taken. In the current assets there are different heads now. You have to take inventories. Inventory has its own note number, note it 7. Then sundry debtors will be there, that you have to take 8. Then cash and bank balances will be there, that you have to give the note number 9. Then other currents, if any, 10. Loans and advances you have to take as a 11. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So these notes will come with these items. Note all those things, write it in a systematic manner. Then remaining notes you have to study. Here after writing all those things, then you have to deduct liabilities here only. So in the horizontal balance sheet, all the liabilities you are going to take in the liability side only, even your current liabilities. But you should remember, in the vertical format it is not like that. In the vertical format you have to deduct current liabilities and provision at the last in the asset side only. Note this important thing. So current liability is to be taken here, current liabilities and provisions. So current liabilities, if any, that is 12, note number 12. Then provisions, if any, that is income tax provision, any other provisions will be there, that you have to take it as a note number 13. Then after considering all these things, the total you have to make, and the total is to be taken outer column. So yes, here outer column you have to take the notes, and this liability side total and asset side total should match. So this way, in one format you have to write your vertical balance sheet. But you have to remember now, vertical form of balance sheet has another portion, another part of it, that is these note numbers whatever you have written here, that is to be explained. How to explain that you have to learn now. Explain in the sense, here in the after writing that block you have to write these schedules. These note number should be explained like this. So note number you have to by heart now. That note number 1 indicates what, 2 what, and 3 what is the third, all those things, fourth one up to 14th you have to by heart it. And in the schedule 1, the capital, it is there in the main balance sheet format. Schedule 1 is to be explained here. So explained in the sense, you have to just write the format now based on your problem which is to be solved after this video, the main important problems. There you are going to learn. So here every information concerned to capital is given, isn't it? The capital in the sense there will be equity share capital, preference share capital. Then in that you have to consider subscribed capital, isn't it? So here the complete format is given. So capital related format is given. You have to add the share, forfeited shares, and you have to deduct the calls in arrears. Calls in arrears means pending. These are capital structure related. So this is a format now. you should know all these things. We cannot explain here now itself. So you know that equity shares will be there, preference shares will be there. In that you have to take this subscribed capital, you have to add forfeited shares, and you have to deduct calls in arrears. Then you will get the total capital. That schedule 1 is to be generally the capital of capital, the schedule 1 will be like this. And you remember one thing, these all things will not come under in your practical problems. So based on your problem, this complexity will be there or not, that will be decided. So just note down it. So during the practical solution you will get to know. Only in 2-3 lines only you are going to finish it, okay, in the problems. But here the complete details are given, but for the format writing purpose you note down this, okay. Yes. So schedule 2 will be there. In the schedule 2, reserves and surplus will come under here. So in reserves and surplus, you should know this schedule 2, where I am taking this schedule 2, schedule 1 and all from the main format. Here the main headings are there and items are assigned with schedules, schedule numbers, note numbers, that I am taking. So the same way you have to follow in your practical solutions. So schedule 2 is reserves and surplus. Reserves and surplus, in the reserves and surplus you will be having different reserves, you know that. Capital reserve will be there, general reserves will be there, dividend equalization reserve, any reserve funds, securities premium reserve, any other reserves. If it is there in your problem, you have to consider and total it and bring it into outer column. After finding out this amount, you have to take this amount to your here in this particular place, okay. So after calculation of capital, you have to take this amount here. After calculation of reserves and surplus, you have to take the amount here. So each schedule is to be calculated 1, 2, 3, 4, like this way. Calculation you have to do in a separate block, and you have to bring that calculation here in this format. That means first what you have to do is, first you have to, in the practical solution, first you have to write this particular format as it is in a blank manner. You have to write, you have to leave the spaces here. After this you have to calculate one by one from the next page, like schedule 1, schedule 2, you have to calculate like this. And after finding each amount here, schedule 1, schedule 2, like this way, each amount you will find here, isn't it? This one, this and this, and this is to be taken to your main amount column here. Got it? So this way you have to do. First you have to write blank format, then in the next page you have to write this one and calculate schedule 1, schedule 2, schedule 3, schedule 4, and you have to take this amount to this format here. Got it? Yes, like this way you have to follow. Now schedule 2 we were looking at, isn't it? So all the reserves and surplus from the problem you have to write here. Then schedule 3 will be there. Schedule 3 concerned to secured loans. Secured loans means loans which are secured by different securities, like land mortgage, this deed of trust, or any type of pledged or mortgaged loans, where you have kept your loan in a secured manner, in the sense you have submitted securities like jewelries, land and all to your lender for getting loan. That is called as secured loans. So debentures, bonds, or any secured loans from the banks, mortgages, long-term loans, all those things will be there. So that you have to total it and write here, and you have to take this to main balance sheet format. Then unsecured loans you have to C. Then schedule number 4. Unsecured loans means you have taken loans from the banks or any persons and you have not secured any of your assets. That is called as unsecured loans. So any creditors, any unsecured loan, if any, you have to total it and take this amount to your main balance sheet format. That is schedule number 4. Then here next you have to go to schedule number 12 and 13. Why you have to go to 12 and 13? So it is still 1, 2, 3, 4, isn't it? But the main thing you should remember that here generally in the horizontal balance sheet, these 12 and 13, which is that your current liabilities and provision. Generally liabilities will come in liability side, isn't it? Liability side means here only you have to write it, but in the vertical format your 12 and 13 items are deducted here from the asset side, correct? So but while writing the explanation of the notes here, while writing it, you have to write 12 and 13 first here. Note this particular thing. This is important. Nothing is to be getting confused with it now. So here 12 and 13 is to be written after 1, 2, 3, 4. You just remember this, and you have to take this 12 and 13 amount after calculation. You have to take here only, right? So note this. So 12 and 13 is concerned to current liabilities and provision. 12 is current liabilities, 13 is provision. So current liabilities in the sense bills payable, sundry creditors, outstanding expenses, and all things will come. So any unclaimed dividend will come there, any type of income received and advanced, every such items will come. Then any other current liabilities you have to consider, right? So after that 14 provision, correct? So provision for taxation, proposed dividend, provision for pension and PF, such provisions will come under this particular schedule. Then you have to calculate this amount and you have to take this amount to your main balance sheet format. Then you have to go to asset side now. In the asset side, schedule 5 is the starting one. So schedule 5 is concerned to fixed asset. First you have to write the total fixed assets, then you have to deduct less depreciation. After deducting less depreciation, net assets value will come, that you have to take here. So that is schedule 5. Then schedule 6 is concerned to investment. Investment in any government bonds, shares and debentures, if any other investment, that you have to consider under schedule 6 and total it and bring it into outer column. Then schedule 7 is concerned to inventory stock. Any inventory stock item is there, that you have to take in schedule 7 and you have to transfer these main amount to your main balance sheet. Then schedule 8, 9, 10, 11. 8, 9, 10, 11 is concerned to your particular 8 is concerned to debtors. Okay, this finished stock, work in progress will come under in stock only. Okay, now 8, 9, 10, 11 will start from here. 8, sundry debtors will be there. In the debtors you have to deduct bad debts and provision for doubtful debts. If it is there, you have to deduct and take the amount in outer column. Then schedule number 9. 9 is concerned to cash and bank balance. If any cash in hand, cash at bank items are there, you have to take it. Any savings account, fixed FD, current account, any type of cash balances, that is concerned to schedule 9. that you have to take. Then schedule 10 is concerned to other current assets. Any spare parts, loose tools, any type of such other current assets will be there that you have to take here, and you have to take it into outer column. Then schedule number 11 is concerned to loans and advances. So in that, expenses paid in advance, if any, advance tax paid, or any other advances in cash, such loans and advances which you have given in advance, that you have to take. If it is there, you have to take and bring it into outer column. Then last, schedule number 14 will be there. So under schedule number 14, miscellaneous expenditure will come. That is preliminary expenses, underwriting expenses, development expenses. Such expenses will come. That is called as miscellaneous expenses, and you have to take it into outer column. And all the amounts calculated from these schedules here, schedule number 1, 2, 3, 4, then 12 and 13. Okay, then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then 12 and 13 you have calculated early, isn't it? So that after that, schedule number 14 you have to consider and to bring it into outer column. And all these schedule amounts you have to calculate it based on your problem. So problem will be very easy. Just you have to bring the amounts and place in the schedules. That is all. That such problems will be there for you, that you have to take. And first you have to write this format, blank format, and you have second step is to find out these all schedule amounts, then bring this schedule amounts to in this main format. So then total of liability side and asset side you have to tally it. So this way your particular vertical format will follow. First, trading and P&L account you have to write correctly in the notebook. Then balance sheet format you have to write. Note this, balance sheet format will be having note numbers. The explanation of the notes should be written like this. I will send these particular screenshots, pictures through your group, and by referring those pictures you just note down in your main format and see this video later on. So this way your main 10 marks problem will follow, and the problems will be very easy. There will not be any such complex adjustments. Just the format you have to write, and the adjustments will be very minimum. So based on these particular format, the main thing here concerned to schedule numbers. So these schedule numbers you should remember, and it should not be mixed. In a systematic manner you have to calculate it, that's all. So let us solve one problem in the next video, so that you will get to know completely. Okay, so note down this format in your notebook and make it perfect, so that stay home, stay safe.